Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that connects every single one of us, no matter where we're from or what language we speak. It's a hidden rhythm, a universal beat, baked right into the way we talk. It's the sound of being human.
So, let me start with a big question for you. Think about it. There are over 7,000 languages on this planet. They sound wildly different, right? But what if they all secretly share the same underlying beat, a common pulse that we all speak to without even realizing it? Is that even possible? Well, let's find out.
So what is the answer to that big mystery? Well, it turns out it's pretty amazing, and it really gets to the very heart of how we all communicate.
Is there a universal rhythm? You bet there is. A massive new study says the answer is a huge, resounding yes. But here's the twist. The secret isn't in our words or even in the syllables. Nope. It's in something more basic. It's in the way we naturally package our speech into these little chunks.
So what are these chunks exactly? Well, linguists have a name for them, of course, and understanding them is the key to this whole thing.
They're called intonation units, or IUs for short. Okay, so what is that? An IU is basically a burst of speech that has its own little melody, a single smooth rise and fall in your pitch. You can kind of think of it like a single complete thought bubble that you speak out loud. It's one of the most fundamental building blocks of talking.
And what's really fascinating is that scientists in all sorts of different fields have noticed this exact same phenomenon. They might call them intonational phrases or tone groups or something else, but really, they're all pointing at the same core idea. We humans speak in these rhythmic bursts.
This image here gives us a great visual for what an intonation unit sounds like. It's got this really distinct shape. So for example, listen to me say this sentence. We had such a nice day. See how it just flows as one single unit? Now listen if I break it up all weird. We had such a nice day. It just sounds wrong, doesn't it? That's because I'm totally messing up that natural rise and fall pattern of the intonation unit you see on the screen.
Okay, so this idea of intonation units is pretty cool, but how do we actually know it's universal? Well, the proof comes from a study that was just massive in scale.
So the researchers started with a huge amount of data. 668 recordings of completely natural speech. And this is so important. This wasn't actors reading scripts in a lab. This was real people just having normal conversations in their everyday lives. That gave the researchers a real unfiltered look at how we actually talk to each other. And they didn't just look at a few similar languages. To make sure they had real variety, they looked at languages from 27 totally separate language families. We're talking about a massive range of linguistic DNA here, from Indo-European to Sino-Tibetan and beyond, covering the whole globe.
And all of that adds up to this staggering final number, 48 different languages, pulled from every single continent on Earth. This is, without a doubt, one of the biggest and most diverse studies of speech rhythm ever done. It was designed specifically to find a pattern that goes beyond any single culture or place.
So after sifting through all of that data from all those languages from all around the world, what did they find? A clear, undeniable, universal rhythm.
And here it is, the secret timing of human speech. Across every single language they looked at, a new intonation unit pops up, on average, once every 1.6 seconds. That's a frequency of about 0.6 hertz. This right here, this is the shared fundamental pulse of human communication.
And this right here is the proof, in one beautiful picture. What you're looking at is the data from all 48 of those languages, all plotted together. Each one of those faint lines is a different language, and that bold red line is the average of all of them. And just look at that. See that clear, sharp spike right around 0.6 hertz? It's just an incredible snapshot of a deeply shared human trait.
Now, it's really important not to get this mixed up with the rhythm of syllables. That's the fast beat of speech, and it changes a lot from language to language. Some are fast, some are slow. The I rhythm is totally different. It's the slow beat. It's not the rhythm of the sounds, it's the rhythm of the ideas. And what's so amazing is that this rhythm is the same everywhere.
So that brings us to the really big question, right? Why? Why would humans all over the world, speaking these incredibly different languages, all land on this exact same slow beat? Well, the answer seems to be all about how we handle information. This quote from the research paper just nails it. We seem to instinctively use these intonation units to manage the amount of information we're giving our listeners. We package our speech so that each one of these rhythmic chunks adds at most one new idea to the conversation.
It's how we make our thoughts easy for other people to digest.
So you see, these intonation units are doing some serious work for us. Like we said, they pace the flow of new information. But their little melody also helps signal when it's someone else's turn to talk. And, this is a big one, this predictable rhythm is super helpful for babies, helping them figure out where one chunk of sound ends and the next one begins.
But this story goes even deeper than just language. It turns out this universal rhythm might actually be a window into the basic operating system of the human brain itself.
Okay, so this is where things get really wild. It turns out that 0.6 hertz speech rhythm, well, it falls directly inside the frequency of what are called delta brainwaves. And delta waves are what our brain uses for high-level understanding. They're the slow brainwaves that help us track a story, pay attention, and get the meaning behind the words, not just the sounds themselves.
The implication here is just profound. The rhythm of our speech seems to be perfectly matched to the rhythm our brains use to process meaning. It really suggests this is no accident, that our brains are literally tuned to receive and process information in these 1.6-second packages.
Which leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending question to ponder. If we all speak to the same universal beat, does that mean we all think in rhythm too? It's a pretty cool thought. Thanks so much for joining me.